Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess Hover. It is so good to have you here. This is Jules. Her name's Juliet. We call her Jules. She'll be a month old tomorrow, but also it's not even her due date yet. She would be due next week. She arrived 6 weeks early and we just got her home from the NICU last week. So this is all a new life. She's my third child. I have a 1-year-old who was born last year. His name's Wilson. He's almost a 1.5 years now. He's growing. And then I have a 5-year-old daughter named Eloise. And today's video is going to be about my epidural experience. So with this little baby, I had an epidural. With my other 2 kids, I did unmedicated labors. And I just want to talk to you about both of those things. And if you are pregnant and you're trying to figure out which way you want to go as far as epidural or not, hopefully this video will be helpful to you. Before I start, yay, I get to partner with someone for this video. This video is in partnership with thredUP. thredUP is offering a Goodie Box service and you can use my link below to get yours today. So thredUP, what is it? It is the biggest online thrift store with up to 90% off of your favorite brands. For me, that's like Madewell, Free People, Urban Outfitters, and they have a thing called a Goodie Box. So I will say this. One of my really close friends uses thredUP, and this was my first time doing it, but I had seen that she loved it, so I was excited to be able to try it. I both bought stuff for my kids on there and then also did the Goodie Box experience. So that's what I'm going to tell you about, is the Goodie Box. What is it? It is a thing where you go on and you fill out a quiz and it asks you about your lifestyle, your needs, what you want. So I just did it after having a baby. And so my stuff was like, I want comfy clothes. I want to be able to look put together, but I still need to be able to nurse in most of the items I receive. You pay $10. That's like the down payment. And the $10 goes towards whatever items you keep. So they have stylists and they pull these different items for you based on the quiz you fill out. And then they mail the 10 items to you. The things you like, you keep. The things you don't like, you send back. And it's just all really cool. So now what I'm going to do is try on 5 pieces right here on the screen next to me. And I'm going to tell you the brands of the piece and the estimated retail price and the thredUP price. And you guys can tell me what you think I should keep, even though I kind of have in my head what I want to keep. Jeans are kind of intimidating postpartum. These are actually AG jeggings. Their estimated retail price is $36. On thredUP, it is $28.99, and they're super comfortable. I really like them. I like how they look. I like how they feel. The tank top is Madewell. Love Madewell. It feels quality. The next outfit here is the same jeggings. I told you I really like those. And then a Henley from Urban Outfitters, which I've actually seen in the store and liked. So super excited that it arrived here. And that estimated retail price is $60, and on thredUP it is $22.99. So I'm really excited about that. Now this outfit is this outfit that I'm wearing. This is a jumpsuit from Urban Outfitters as well. Estimated retail price on that one, $60, and on thredUP it is $25.99. Super comfortable, flattering, easy to nurse in. I like this one. I actually feel cute enough to film a video. That's fun. And then the next thing you see is a kimono. So the kimono is from Max Studio. The estimated retail price on this one is $71, and on thredUP it is $38.99. So this is like a classier piece. I don't normally wear things like this, but I feel like it would help if I was going somewhere meeting somebody who I want to look a bit more presentable for. But again, I can take it off and wear this cute thing under. The outfit that's next is, oh, it's cute. It's a pink dress from Madewell. Not as nursing friendly, very comfortable though. So maybe it would be something I wear down the road. I just don't know if my body's going to be changing more. I don't know. So this one, I also would love to know your opinion. Should I keep it? Should I not? What do you think? I like the color. I like the company who makes it. That one retails at $119. That's really good. And on thredUP it is $36.99. Okay, that's kind of motivating to keep. Yeah, so let me know what you think. You can get your own Goodie Box for just $10 to start off if you click my link below. And I think you should. It feels like Christmas. It's so fun, and the packaging is really cute. This is the second box because I ordered kids' clothes in it, but it comes in this cool box with these cute little polka dots. Good for the earth to be buying secondhand. That's really motivating for me. And now the video. Epidural. Dun dun dun. I was so nervous about an epidural. So if you know me, which maybe you don't, you know that I am afraid of epidural. So really, I've had 2 unmedicated labors, but that's not because I have like this really strong feeling that everybody should do it without medication and it's all amazing. It's really just that I had a friend who had a really bad epidural experience, and it made me very fearful of the epidural itself. And then I had other friends who had babies without epidurals and without just any medication at all, and I thought it looked so cool. And I was like, wow, if they could do it, I could probably do it. So I tried, and then I did. My daughter, who was born 5 years ago, she was like 7 pounds, 8 ounces or something like that. And the labor was quite long. I've made videos about this so you can watch. She was about 21 inches long. The length doesn't really affect the pain level too much of the baby coming out of you. It's more the size of their head and their body. Yeah, by the time they're scooting out of you, the length just, I feel like, doesn't affect anything. My son, who was born last year, he was 9 pounds, 4 ounces, 23 inches long, like a watermelon coming out of my body. Had I known he was that big, I think I probably would have considered the epidural. At that point, I had been laboring all night and was so tired. And while I'm getting to the point of him coming out, I was like yelling to my sister, like, I don't think anybody should have kids. And she's like, we just got to get through this. We just have to do this. We will do it. So, so that wasn't the best. Some people have, I should backtrack. I don't want to scare you. Having a baby unmedicated is amazing. It really is incredible. The experience is like, I don't know, your body is amazing, what it's capable of, the drama of like, oh my gosh, the baby's coming, and then the baby comes and you meet them and it's all very climactic, and that's wonderful. The pain, so some people would say that you can overcome the pain. There's a belief system that like, if you get above the pain mentally, then the pain subsides. I did try that. From between my first baby and my second baby, that was 4 years, and I did a lot of like mentally preparing and trying to kind of zen my way into a more peaceful, painless labor. It didn't really work for me, but I don't want to say that it can't work for anyone, and I know that the way the internet works, you're going to get these messages and people are going to have all kinds of opinions. Prepare. If you're gonna have a baby without an epidural, I would say it's fair to prepare for pain. You're squeezing a human being out of a hole that starts very small and then gets big enough to get the baby out, but it's fair to expect some pain. In my experience, 2 times, it was very painful. Also worth it, but very painful. Both times well, the first time I had an episiotomy, so the doctor cut me so that the baby could come out and then she could stitch me up more smoothly. That happens sometimes. They do it that way because if you tear, sometimes the procedure of stitching you up after is just a little bit more messy and complicated, and so the episiotomy helps make sure it's like a clean cut and a clean stitch and you're done. I didn't know that I was having that happen to me the first time, and I didn't care. It was so painful. The reason why they did that was to get the baby out quicker instead of having her almost come out and keep going back in. And so actually when they told me that that's what was happening, I was relieved that we just were gonna get that little baby girl out. With my son, I tore. It was all just very painful. I screamed. Some people, when they're in a lot of pain, they're like silent. I was a yeller, but it was okay. I also kept apologizing to the nurses, and I was like, should we apologize to the moms that are in nearby hospital rooms, because I feel like I'm gonna scare them and I don't wanna scare anyone. But he was just a big guy coming out of me. So this girl, she arrived 6 weeks early and was significantly smaller than her siblings. So I thought that I maybe would do it unmedicated because I've done bigger babies before. The reason why I ended up getting an epidural was because I had been laboring for so long. We didn't know how much longer it was gonna be, and I was in a lot of pain. I hadn't slept the whole night, and mostly we didn't know what kind of state she was going to be in when she came out. We didn't know if she would be able to breathe. We didn't know physically if everything would be working as it should be. And so for me, I was exhausted, in pain, and pretty scared. And I thought that having an epidural would give Sean and I the chance to sleep. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. In my first 2 labor and delivery processes, I had Sean there, I had my sister there, who's a huge support in times like that, and I had a woman who's like an honorary mom to us. Her name is Gina, and she is a birth coach. And so not only was she able to help support me, and both of them were able to help support me, they were also able to support Sean in the process of me having this unmedicated labor, which he really needed the support because it's a lot on a partner to watch your spouse be in so much pain. And this time we didn't have that. So it was just him and I, because it's coronavirus and nobody was allowed in there aside from him and I. And so when it came time to make the decision of whether or not to get the epidural, I was factoring all of this stuff in and knowing that if I got it, we could both rest, we could both mentally be more prepared for her to come out and the NICU team to be there and to just figure out what was gonna happen next. So the person comes in, the anesthesiologist comes in to do the epidural, and he was awesome. I was asking questions prior to getting the epidural, like how experienced is the person who's going to be giving it to me? How does it work? Am I going to be able to walk? What's this going to be like? At that point, my water had already broken, and they already had put me on, I think bed rest, right? They had given me a catheter at that point. Things get a little bit blurry for me because I was hospitalized 2 weeks prior to that when I first went into preterm labor, and I was hospitalized for 3 days by myself there to try and stop her from coming out at 31 weeks. And so my memories are getting a little confused as to which one, but basically both times I wasn't allowed to get up to go to the bathroom because they didn't want me to fall, and water was gushing from me the second time. So I think that was it. So having an unmedicated labor, something I really liked about that was the freedom that I had to get up and move around and be in these different positions. Both times my water didn't break for Eloise and Wilson. They had to break my water, and once they broke my water, the babies came out within the next hour. For my daughter, she came out probably, I don't know, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, something like that. The doctor barely made it in for that one. And then for Wilson, they broke my water, the doctor left the room, and he started coming out, and the nurse delivered the baby within minutes of my water breaking. With this little one, my water broke here actually in my friend Becca's house when we were working, and so then she drove me to the hospital. So by the time I received the epidural, I was leaking a lot of fluid, and we had made the decision with the doctor that I wasn't to get up and use the bathroom. So my mobility was much more limited, and I feel like that also affected me getting the epidural because I knew that I already couldn't be moving around. I'm sorry, I'm giving you a lot of details, but I think one thing you can see as kind of a pro of an unmedicated labor is your ability to move around. When you get an epidural, for a lot of people, that means that you are going to be on the hospital bed, probably with a catheter. I think for a time I had a catheter, and for a time I had the bedpan. Oh, you know what? The other thing that was different about this that it affected why I got the epidural was they kept increasing the Pitocin they were giving me to try and get her out more quickly, but it wasn't doing anything. Weirdly, my contractions were increasing, but my cervix wasn't dilating more. So then they put a monitor inside of me twice. It happened twice. It was not a very pleasant experience. The doctor went inside of me, put this monitor inside to more accurately see what my contractions were doing so they could more accurately determine how much Pitocin to give me. And so I was already like plugged in a lot of ways as well. And that also made me think an epidural might be nice because I didn't want to feel everything that was going on, which was not a nice feeling, on top of just the kind of fear that I was experiencing inside. I have video clips of this, even of like me trying to figure out with Sean and the nurse if I should get the epidural, and I'm going to show you them, but I'm going to save them for another video because somebody really dear to me is going to be having a baby, and that person is going to do it without an epidural. So her last baby she did with an epidural. This one she's hoping to do without an epidural. And she said that I can film some of that experience because I'm going to be there. And what we want to do for you is put the footage together from her experience and my experience and show you that, so that hopefully it can be more of a accurate kind of presentation of your options. But this is at least me verbally telling you my experience. I asked questions. I asked, how experienced is this anesthesiologist? Does he know what he's doing? I asked my nurse, would you get an epidural in this hospital? And you know, she was honest. She said, yes, I would get one here, but I had one at this other hospital and it wasn't good. And it was because the person wasn't experienced. So let's find out how experienced this person is and if they know what they're doing. So the guy was super good at it. He was really good. He was very calming. He asked me a lot of questions. Sean had to leave the room for the epidural. So they had me prop up. I was having contractions, but they just had me breathe through them. And then they did the epidural in between. And I had to stay very still, which was possible during the break between contractions. If it had happened during the contractions, I wouldn't have been able to stay still. It was too painful. And the pain of the insertion of the like needle thing that went in, it really wasn't too bad, especially compared to having a baby. Definitely not bad at all. And it happened very quickly. And then I felt the positive effects, the relief from the pain, felt that very quickly. And Sean came back probably 20 minutes after all of this. So he was gone out of the room, I think, for about 20 minutes. And I was like a different person when he came back. I was totally calm. The pain had been almost completely like relieved. And at that point I was able to sleep and he was able to sleep, and it was really great. I could feel that things were happening. It was nothing, like the pain was nothing compared to having a baby without an epidural. And then I think it was a few hours later, I slept for a few hours. If you watch my vlog, you can see like the timing of it because I put the little time, the minute marker things on there. But yeah, within a few hours, then I slept, and then I further dilated, and they said that maybe because I was able to relax, that actually helped my cervix to dilate more. And then they told me that the baby was going to be coming out, and everything was very calm. That was probably my favorite part of the epidural experience, was the calmness. My sister didn't love that. She said that compared to mine, so my sister had an epidural for her baby, she said that she actually preferred the chaos of an unmedicated labor because she watched mine. She liked that it was like this anticipation of the baby is coming, and then the baby came, and it was really amazing. For her, she was sleeping, the doctor came in and was like, your baby's about to come out, and she was like, oh no, I don't feel ready. And then her husband had been going to get a cup of coffee, came back in, and the baby came, and she said that wasn't her favorite way. For me, I actually really liked that it was that calm. I liked that they could tell me your baby's coming, this is about to happen, we're gonna do this. The NICU team was there. It was all very clear how it was gonna take place, and I needed that. She came out in one push. If you watched the vlog, she was very small. I was very ready. So I think had I not had the epidural, that part probably would have been pretty smooth compared to the other babies. Maybe it would have been easy comparably, but I will say the pain leading up to it was very intense before I got the epidural, and that was many hours before she actually came out. So I do not in any way regret getting the epidural. In fact, I feel thankful now that I've had both experiences. If you are considering getting an epidural but you're on the fence, I guess my suggestion to you, though you don't have to listen because I'm just a person, but my suggestion would be try to do it without an epidural, and then if you just feel like it's way too much or you're way too exhausted or something, get one. You're okay. Ask how good they are at it. Get some opinions. Maybe even check with your doctor, like, would you recommend this? But I would say don't put too much pressure on yourself. Either way, you're having a baby. The goal is to get that baby out of you, that you would be healthy and the baby would be healthy. And if you can do it without medication and feel like this is what you want, then go for it. If an epidural sounds desirable, then at this point, I'm on team epidural too. I'm on both teams. I liked them both. Thought they were awesome. If I was having another baby, I would do exactly what I have done, which is go in, trying to do it unmedicated. And if you decide, along with the people that are on your team in the room, that you'd rather have an epidural, then you get an epidural. My epidural experience was very, very good. And I hope that if you have an epidural, that it is just as good as mine. I didn't have pain the next day. Once the epidural was finished, it was not too long before I was able to stand up and walk around and feel good. I didn't have headaches the next day from it. Those are things that I've heard people say. I don't know, I just felt like all around it was a really positive experience. So I do think epidurals are great if you want. And that's all. And either way, you're going to be awesome. I hope you have a wonderful labor. If it comes down to you needing a C-section, good, you do that. You do whatever you need to do to get that baby out of you. You feel like an awesome mom in whatever that process is for you. No shame. We're gonna try and stay away from that shame life that the moms live, because we live it sometimes. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, join us on Facebook if you need more support. We have a Facebook group called Jess Hover and Friends. Would love to see you there. Also, thank you so much for those of you who are shopping our business, Very Good Mothers Club. Please continue to do so. It supports the family and we're so thankful. And guys, don't forget to check out ThreadUp using my link below. You can go take the quiz, get your goodie box, have the stylist pick out the 10 items, only $10 to get started. The link's below. You're gonna like it. And we will see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye.